Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We have all been there. The job that once felt like a perfect fit, but now you're just mentally checked out. So how do you know if it's just a blip or if it's time to quit your job? I have resigned a few times before, and my decision almost always led me to a better place. Whether it is for my well-being, for my personal life, or landing on an even more rewarding job. I've tallied up the 5 signs that it might be time for you to move on. Number 1, you dread going to work. This one pretty much says it all. You don't want to go to work because you're not happy at work. We've all been there. It is Monday morning and you just can't get yourself to get out of bed. And for some of you, you might even start dreading on a Sunday. You're not sure how you could go through the entire week at work before the weekend comes again. And when the weekend is finally here, you drink or eat or sleep just a little bit too much so you could take a breather before the vicious cycle repeats itself again. That is unhealthy for your overall well-being because if you're not happy, you're likely not getting quality sleep, not eating well, or just constantly stressed out. This is one of the signs that your job is affecting your mental and physical health. It is challenging to maintain a positive attitude and accept the positive energy of the universe when you're so unhappy most of the time. So let me ask you this. Why would you want to spend so much time getting stuck in an unhappy situation? You're not getting any younger and life is too precious to spend 8 hours a day doing something that you don't enjoy. And remember, nothing is worth your sanity. Number 2, you're not learning or growing. As the Chinese proverb goes, learning is like sailing against the current. A boat must forge ahead or it will be swept downstream. If you're not growing or improving your life in any way on your current job, it probably means that this job is no longer serving you. For most people, you want to be in a job where you're either learning new things, feeling inspired by what you do or the people around you, expanding your mind, enriching your life, or all of the above. That's when you know you're in a good space because you're trading your time to add more value to your life. So if your job is not doing any of these things, then what are you doing? Some of you might say, oh, it's to pay the bills or to pay off debt. Yes, absolutely, and that's very important. And many people have no problem with being in a job that does just that. It's okay as long as you also feel good about it because everyone is different. But if some of you are like me, you might want something a little bit more. After all, we're only on this planet for a finite time frame. So ask yourself if this is how you want to spend a big chunk of your time doing. Remember that you always have a choice. You can also start looking for other ways or find another job to pay your bills and help you grow. Number 3, you are regularly burning out. If you are burning out because you constantly find yourself working late nights and on weekends, and if you're not feeling good about it, then this is a red flag. There's obviously no work-life balance for you. If you're spending so many hours working and sacrificing your personal life, your health and overall being will ultimately suffer. If the situation doesn't improve, it might be time to start looking elsewhere. Now, some of you might have jobs that require the occasional overtime and seasonal peaks. It's all okay as long as you're enjoying yourself and you can find some work-life balance. You don't feel constantly burned out for consecutive months in a row. That said, everybody is different with different priorities. For example, if you're working at a professional services firm or management consultancy, it might be the norm to work extremely long hours, but some of you might be more willing to grind it and make major sacrifices, and this is totally okay if that is what you want and what makes you happy. It is a choice that you make. I have some friends who either went down or are going down this path, and I remember one of them told me that it is a lot of money, but then he doesn't have the time to see his friends, family, or even buy toilet paper. Nothing is worth sacrificing your health and sanity. And let's face it, working 7 days a week with little rest and no personal life is definitely not enjoyable and not sustainable. Number 4, the work culture is toxic. A toxic work culture often causes a high level of stress, anxiety, and sometimes even depression and physical health problems. Your health should always be the number 1 priority. So if your company's work culture is making you sick, it is time to consider leaving. A bad work culture also directly affects your job performance because it leads to decreased motivation and poor productivity. It is very hard to perform to the best of your abilities when work culture is toxic. Your relationships with colleagues, friends, friends and family will also suffer because you've probably become more irritable or anxious due to stress. And that makes it hard to maintain healthy relationships at work and outside work. Personally, I believe a toxic work culture is a big red flag because it affects absolutely everything and is usually deeply rooted. It takes years for a company culture to take shape, and it is usually driven from the top. This means there's probably very little you can do, and there's no reason why you should accept working in such a poor environment. It's probably time to consider quitting your job and finding a healthier work environment where you can find peace and thrive. Number 5, you want to pivot to something new. If you figured out that the job is no longer what you want to be doing, whether it's because you got a better offer, or you've achieved what you set out to achieve in this role and want a bigger challenge, or you just simply want to change your work environment or pivot to a different career, then it's time for you to consider quitting and start something new. These are all good and exciting reasons for you to consider quitting your job. It can be daunting to some people to leave a familiar environment and jump into the unknown. But sometimes, getting out of your comfort zone is exactly what you need to challenge yourself and to grow. As the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." I think this is also true when it comes to our career. Sometimes we have to let go of what's holding us back in order to see a new perspective and pursue our true potential. It's about taking the necessary risks to pursue growth. If you do decide to quit your job, watch my other video where I'll share with you tips on how to quit your job with style. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and see you guys in my next video. Bye!